Hello Mariners fans and welcome to episode 8 of Mariners TV, and believe it or not, we are back at Central Coast Stadium.
It is so good, and we've actually replaced the plastic palm tree and sauce bottles with the real thing. So we've got that in the background. All we're missing is Usain Bolt, but you know, he might pop up.
Who knows where he is? But I'm your host Tyson Scott, and I'm joined by Carly Carmichael today. We've got freight trains flying around in the back. We've got God knows what happening behind us. So I'm sure we're in for
absolutely banging tunes as well that you may hear.
And some tunes. So we've got a huge show coming up for our game day edition of Mariners TV. So Carly, what have we got coming up?
Yeah, well, we will be chatting to Mariners player Josh Nisbet as well as Nick Montgomery. He will be crossing in live. Our NPL boys are playing today. And then Tony Pinata and Neil Kilkenny will be joining us from Perth Glory. And then wrapping up with Noel Arate, our assistant coach, to give us a bit about our lineup today.
So a huge show planned. We do have word that Nick Montgomery is a bit hot under the collar at the moment. So we think we're looking forward to an interview with him. Yes. It's going to be quite the show. But yeah, it's great to be back at Central Coast Stadium. We're going to have some fans coming in no time. Strangely enough, it's a Perth Glory home game.
It is.
But we're here. So we'd like to say a huge shout out to the Perth Glory fans as well, and the Perth Glory administration. I guess teams like Perth Glory, Wellington Phoenix have probably sacrificed the most in order to get the A-League back up and running. So I guess for your colleagues, it's at the other clubs, it's amazing for them to make the sacrifices of.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you know, the administration staff as well as the players have pretty much have to pack up their lives and move over. And don't know how long for. You sort of don't really know what's going on, and you have to stay within this bubble. So, I mean, our boys are going through it at the moment, having to stay within their bubble. You know, you can't go out to a restaurant, you can't do certain things, and to do that away from your home and your family as well, that's, you know, such a huge thing for them to do. And the staff have been fantastic. We've been working really close with the Perth Glory admin side to bring this game together. So yeah, it's been fantastic, and it just shows, you know, how well all the clubs can actually work together, especially in a time like this.
Yeah, and I think, you know, it's so easy for fans to say, you know, look at the Melbourne Storm as an example. You know, it's easy to say that, you know, they're in a resort and, you know, they're having the time of their lives, but really a lot of these players and a lot of these staff members are going to be away from their families for so long, which I guess some people, you know, may not consider.
Yeah.
But I guess from a cultural point of view, one of the key things to the Mariners culture has always been the players' ability to get along, to do things off the pitch. They've needed to find unique ways to do that within the bubble. So, Carly, can you give us a bit of an update as to how the players have sort of been socially handling the bubble situation?
Yeah. So while, you know, you're allowed to pop out and get your essentials, do your groceries, that sort of thing, but, you know, things like going out to dinner or that kind of stuff, you pretty much can't do. So to make sure that, you know, normally after a training session, a lot of the boys might go to a cafe, have a bit of team bonding, or go out for a team lunch. Can't actually do that at the moment. So we're really fortunate that Master Foods, our major partner, gave us some of their fantastic new marinades. So CEO Sean Mellencamp went and put on a barbecue for the boys.
Oh, nice.
So that they could all get together and have a bit of a team lunch in the lead up to their first home game. So, not first home game, first game back.
Yes.
Sorry, at home, but it's not. Anyway, so yes, we'll head over now to watch a video which just has a few words from our sponsors.
So yeah, decided to cook a barbecue for the lads. It's been difficult to really do much with them all being in the bubble, with making sure that they don't go out too much. So Master Foods are kind enough to deliver us all their new flavours. So this one's smoky Jamaican barbecue, and that one there. So new marinades and dips. So we're cooking it up for the boys so they can be the first people to try out the new Master Foods flavours, and hopefully it tastes all right.
Big thanks to Master Foods for sending us out some new sauces for our cook-up today. Keep an eye out for these on the shelves soon. And a big thanks to your ongoing support for the Mariners, can't wait to be back out on the pitch.
So even in the bubble, I guess it's great to see the Mariners players still having that opportunity, thanks to Master Foods, to be able to catch up.
Definitely.
Well, I think behind us we're ready to be joined by our first guest. We're just getting him mic'd up now, but before we're joined by Josh Nisbet, I guess so important for sponsors like Master Foods to be able to, make things like that happen.
Yeah, of course. And, like we always say, even sponsors like our JC Events, bringing us Mariners TV. We've been able to sort of make sure that the last few games that we can still highlight our sponsors and make sure that we can do the most that we can for them during this time as well.
Absolutely. Well, I think we're ready to cross live now to our first guest for today. We're joined by Central Coast Mariners player just behind us, Josh Nisbet. Nizzy, thank you for joining us, mate. I guess to get the season back underway, you must be thrilled to be back at home in front of home fans at Central Coast Stadium.
Yeah, all the boys and even the coaching staff are very eager to get back into the home fans and show them that we are ready to finish off the season. It's a great opportunity, especially for all the fans that have been loyal throughout the season, to really give them what we want to show them.
Yeah, so and before the season came to a bit of a halt, obviously due to COVID-19, you were getting a fair bit of game time, which obviously would have given you some more confidence. Are you sort of looking forward to see how things will be panning out for you over the next couple of games?
Yeah, so obviously by the end of before all of COVID happened, I was playing pretty regularly, so I'm looking forward to hopefully being able to do that again and continue to play for the club.
It's a really unique situation, I guess, coming back with 4 games to go. You've been back to training for a month now. What's the message been from Stadge and the coaching staff leading into these final 4 games?
Well, the main point was that we need to get fit real quick. We've only got a month to sort of play 4 games in the space of 2 weeks, so that was the main priority. And just recently we've been looking at the opposition and working out what we need to do to obviously win.
And while it's not actually a home game for us, we are actually playing at our home ground. How important is it, to restart the season in front of your own home fans?
Yeah, it's incredible that we get the opportunity to host 3 games even when we're meant to be away. So it'll be great to get as many fans as we can and have them as our 12th man sort of thing, and show them that we want to prove what the season was. We want to prove what the season is.
And Nizzy, I guess for someone like you who's, and before we let you go, I guess you're quite new to life as a professional footballer. The challenges that everyone in the A-League has experienced over the last couple of months has been quite unique. Can you provide the fans a bit of an insight as to how you've managed to stay fit, how the squad stayed connected during such a unique and challenging time?
Yeah, so originally when it first all sort of got delayed and stuff like that, all the players were keeping fit because we weren't sure how quickly we were needed back. After a couple of weeks, it was sort of identified that we weren't going to be back for a while, so I think everyone sort of relaxed a little bit, maintained fitness, and was just eager to sort of get back. When we got the news that it looked like it was going to come back in July, we all started getting fit and maintaining, and the club provided us a program to follow and keep fit. And all the boys were just talking on the social medias, keeping in touch, making sure everyone was happy, so that's what we did.
And just before we let you go, mate, I guess just previewing the game that we have here today, how are you looking to approach Perth Glory? I guess what are you expecting, and what's the plan going into this one against such a tough team?
Yeah, so we reviewed all our games we played against them this season, and our main objective is to do what we did the first time we versed them when we played in Perth. So that's what we're aiming to do, and hopefully we can come out with that result as well.
Well, Nizzy, we know you're busy. It's game day. We'll let you go. Thank you for joining us. Good luck, and we look forward to seeing you back out on the pitch today.
Yeah, thank you guys. Everyone stay safe. Thank you.
Good luck.
Thanks, Nizzy. Yeah, great to, I guess, finally be not only back at Central Coast Stadium, but hearing from a player pre-game.
Yes.
It's good to see Nizzy getting plenty of game time too.
It's very weird, the fact that you're hearing him, and he is actually just right down there. We just can't actually physically have him here. So it was, but it is really, really good. And especially for someone like Nizzy, I mean, he was such a fan favourite, when he's playing with NYL and NPL as well. So, he's sort of become this little bit of a cult hero as well. So it'd be really fantastic for him to get out in the field today and see what he can do.
Absolutely. Speaking of NPL, I believe we're quite close to being joined by next guest, Nick Montgomery. But I guess before we do so, getting back to Central Coast Stadium is something that obviously you and I have been quite excited about. You guys have been working overtime to communicate with fans and do everything that you need to do to get them back into the stadium. What's the messages you're hearing from the fans at the moment? I guess I'm sure that they're thrilled to be back here and watching a game of football.
Definitely. I think everyone has just been itching to get back here. And I've been saying it this whole time. It is this case of you don't know what you've got until you're gone. Until
Exactly.
it's gone, sorry. Yeah,
Exactly.
so, we've had that long off football and that long, even just off community sport. I know sort of our girls, every time we see clouds, we're like, please don't be rained out. Like, we don't want to miss a game because we've already missed a couple of months. So everyone's just itching to get back in, and, hopefully we can see a good crowd here today. Obviously, we're sort of at capacity of about 4,500. So it does provide some challenges, but I mean, we've been trying to communicate the best we can to our members, and it all really essentially comes down to common sense. And I guess this is a message for anyone who is coming to the stadium today. You have to play your own part in making sure that we can continue to have football games during this time. Really simple stuff. Wash your hands, sanitize when you can. Make sure that if you're sitting in your seats and there's a group of people who might be, sitting right next to you, just move over leave a couple of seats free between your group and the next group. We'll also mention, if you haven't purchased your ticket yet, do it now online. So the ticket boxes will actually not be open for this game, just due to health and safety at the moment. No ticket boxes will be open. So if you turn up and you don't have a ticket, you'll need to pick up your phone, do it online, and then you'll get a barcode, scan your phone through, and you'll be right. So what we'll also do now, we'll just go to a couple of commercial breaks, and then when we get back, we'll have a chat with Nick Montgomery.
We'll get you there. Cabs will get you there. Cabs will get you there.
Is use this proactively.
The tip is being open and honest.
Avoid being fearful of the unknown.
Don't commit crimes in the first place. If you don't want to have to see me, think twice about what you're going to do.
Don't leave anything that you don't think is important out, because quite often it is important.
Often if we can have a conversation with you at the start, we can help you get to the finish so much quicker.
Mining and construction, delivering the right people to the right places.
Well, welcome back. Great to hear from some of our sponsors there. I guess another thing happening at the game today, so for anyone looking to come to the game, the club will be running a merchandise stand with some specials. So, Carly, can you tell us a little bit more about, I guess, what fans can expect from the merch today?
Yeah, so previously in the last couple of years, we have outsourced our merchandise. So we've actually brought it all back now. So every single dollar you spend at the merchandise will actually go back to the club and helping, build our future and making sure that we can continue to do things bigger and better. So merchandise is up to 70% off. I was looking at a couple of things. There was some stuff that was $70 and we're selling for $12.50. So some of the items start at $4. You can get this season's jersey for $30.
Oh, wow.
That's pretty good. And there's sizes from extra small all the way to 3XL. There is quite a few, there's a lot of kids stuff as well, a couple of things in sort of like the infants baby sizes, and then lots of supporter wear, so caps, beanies, can coolers, flags as well. So you can get that all. If you're coming to the stadium today, it's on the northern concourse. So when you head up the eastern gates, you'll see it just there. It is contactless payment, so FPOS only. We will not be accepting cash for these, so we do apologise if that's an inconvenience, but unfortunately during these times it's what we've got to do. So you'll be able to see a couple of our staff members up there, and and hopefully following this we'll be getting an online store. So
cool.
Very slowly putting that together, and then so it should be in the next couple of days we'll be announcing that, where you'll be able to jump online, order things, and we'll be able to get them sent out to you.
So plenty of huge merch discounts there. I guess I think I might have to go over and get myself a new jersey if they're only $30. So make sure if you are coming to the game to get over to the merch store, because to pick up any football jersey for $30 is an absolute steal. So I'll be heading over there after this when the gates open. Before we chat to our next guest, Carly, I just wanted to ask you, I guess, there's been a bit of media around with Football New South Wales during the week regarding our academy team. Sort of what can you tell our fans about what's happening there before we get the full rundown from Monty?
Yeah, so essentially, in a nutshell, one of the A-League clubs' NPL team has moved from NPL 2 up to NPL 1. There were a couple of teams within the competitions, in the NPL competitions, that withdrew this year just because of everything that's been happening in the current climate. So to fill in those spaces, one of the A-League teams has moved into NPL 1. The Mariners have remained in NPL 2, and the Newcastle Jets have moved from NPL 4 up to NPL 2 as well. So a bit of movement. But definitely we'll have a chat to Nick Montgomery in just a moment, and he will have some things to say.
Well, the boys do have a game today, and we're lucky enough to be joined by the NPL NYL head coach Nick Montgomery, who joins us via Zoom at the moment. Monty, I guess before we get into the ins and outs of the Football New South Wales decision, can you provide us a bit of an update as to what's happening with your team at the moment?
Yeah, so can you hear me, guys? Yeah?
Perfect.
Yep.
Yeah, so obviously after the COVID period, we moved back in training a couple of weeks, and obviously there's been a lot of controversy the last week really with the movement of one team going up to NPL 1, but we start the season today down at Blacktown Spartans. So I've just arrived in Sydney. The 8 teams are playing now, and I'll take the 20s and first grid with Sergio, my assistant. So look, the season starts today. It's a 10-game season. No finals, so look, it's good for the players to be back playing competitive games, and that's what obviously they've missed the last 4 or 5 months.
And I guess the last time we spoke to you was actually one of our first few episodes, and everyone had just gone into lockdown. So how are the boys now that they've come out? You've had a couple of training sessions and leading into the first game. How have they remained motivated and keeping fit?
Yeah, look, I think as coach of the top 2 teams, I sort of, we use Zoom quite a lot. I had a couple of Premier League players on there, coaches, just talking to the boys, as well as some sports psychologists, and really just try to interact with them. Let them use the downtime in lockdown to work on their own game. Are you guys still there?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So just work on their own game, set the self goals, and just really sort of mental health and well-being. Just make sure that they understand that it's nothing that they can control. Obviously, everywhere around the world's been hit with the same problem. So look, it's been good to get them back. They've come back with the right attitude and wanting to train and wanting to play. Again, the disappointment of the last week is again something that I've told them they can't control. We just got to get on with it, which has been the message last week.
Well, Monty, you touched on that, and I guess that was one of the main reasons we wanted to get you on this week, was to talk about the decision that has been made by Football New South Wales during the week. Some of the fans would have seen some media today about it, that there have been a couple of A-League teams who have academy teams that have earned automatic promotion, one of them to NPL 1, whereas the Mariners academy team will remain in NPL 2. Can you, I guess, to start, can you provide the fans with a bit of context as to what has actually happened this week before we go into talking about, I guess, what the club's opinion is of that matter?
Well, look, in a nutshell, the Mariners and West Sydney Wanderers are both in NPL 2 last season. We finished above them in NPL, we finished above them in MYL, beating them convincingly. But look, Graham Arnold, came up with a good initiative to put us, West Sydney and the Jets into NPL 1. It's a 10-game competition, so, just to give them equal opportunity, to be seen by the national team coaches, playing at the highest level, coming into the Olympics. So I think that would have been a fantastic, initiative by Football New South Wales and Graham Arnold and the FFA. But for whatever reason, like I said, controversially, we stay in NPL 2, West Sydney move up to NPL 1, and the Jets jump up 2 leagues from NPL 4, which, again, I don't understand how they were in NPL 4 to NPL 2. So, look, the only club, again, that hasn't really benefited from the move is the Mariners. And, look, for me, it's not right. It's a massive injustice, well done to West Sydney, because it's fantastic for their young boys to be playing in NPL 1 against some good teams. But for us, I've got 30-odd disappointed lads, that when they found out the decision had been made by Football New South Wales, it's been disappointing. I've had to pick them off the ground this week and just tell them, look, it's not, it is unjust, it's not right, it's not fair, but we can't control it. We proved last season that we're a good team. Finished second behind Sydney in the MYL competition. So look, it is what it is. We can't control it. And like you said, although they're disappointed and they've been down this week, they've just had to get on with it. And I think, like you said, the stuff in the media and on the forums, I think everybody's up in arms as to how, a football body and a federation can just lift the team out of the competition and promote them. Which, again, like you said, it should be about equal opportunity for all the A-League clubs, young players, because there's some very good young players at the Jets. We've got some excellent young players, and so have West Sydney. But unfortunately, we're the team that doesn't benefit from this decision. And like I said, it's disappointing when you want to pit yourself against the best sort of semi-pro players in the league, and you don't get that opportunity, and another team does ahead of you. So, like you said, it's disappointing, and like I said, it is what it is. We're playing NPL 2 this week, and we kick off today, so we just got to focus on today and hope they're getting a good result.
Well, Monty, that's a really diplomatic way to look at it, and I think that everyone would agree that the opportunity for young players to be playing at the highest level, particularly for the Wanderers, is a fantastic opportunity. But like you mentioned, I guess where Mariners fans will be left hurting, and I guess where you and your players will be left hurting, is the fact that there maybe could have been some more consideration for the Central Coast Mariners boys, I guess.
Definitely.
Could you maybe provide a bit of an insight to the fans about what the direct implications are for you now with the Wanderers and other teams going to NPL 1? Does this have an impact on, are you likely to maybe lose some players who might have aspirations to play in NPL 1? Are you confident in, I guess, being able to keep your players together? What are, I guess, the direct implications to you, your staff and your players with such a decision?
Oh, look, firstly, we're on the coast. If we're completely honest, in terms of recruitment, it's not the easiest to recruit the best young players, because we're not blessed with I think 300,000 people on the coast as opposed to 5-something million in Sydney. And the reality is that we try and go with mostly Central Coast based players, but the players that we do get from Sydney and West and Melbourne and Queensland, the couple that we have got, they're not wanted by them A-League clubs in them states. So like you said, we're not blessed with recruitment aspects. Obviously we can't provide accommodation, we can't provide travel. So it is hard, it's hard. And listen, playing in NPL 1 as a young player, that's really the second tier of football in this country, and it's your opportunity to play against good NPL clubs. And the reality is that we've got players that are coming to that age now where possibly they might not get an A-League contract, and look, playing against the best NPL 1 teams and performing, that's a fantastic opportunity for one of them to be picked up by a top NPL club like a Wollongong Wolves, for example. But our players don't get that opportunity this season. So again, that's disappointing. obviously not sure what happens next season. But again, who knows? Decisions are just made randomly. So, like I said, there's nothing we can control. Like you say, it's disappointing when you come in and work hard every day, and decisions like that just get taken without really any thought or process or due process between all the clubs. And look, I've had a lot of text messages this week from MPL clubs and people within the game here just bewildered by the decision. But like I say, we could talk about it and until the sun goes down. But it is what it is. We found out late that was the decision. Like I said, fair play to Graham Arnold for trying to get all three A-League clubs in the MPL1 competition, and it would have been a fantastic opportunity for him, Gary Van Egmond, to really have a look at the best young players that A-League clubs are producing, and that's not going to be the case, unfortunately.
And I guess to finish on a bit of a high note, plenty of your boys have actually been training with the A-League squad and making some debuts with them. Who can we look out for this NPL season?
Yeah, look, again, we've got small numbers at the minute. We've had a lot of boys training with the A-League in the A-League bubble, but I think the Jets are the same. Probably West Sydney. And look, if I'm being totally honest, I'm pretty sure Graham Arnold would really be looking at young players for that under-23 Holyrood squad. I think he'd want to be looking at them playing in the A-League. And again, we've got quite a few boys in the A-League playing in the A-League team that are eligible for that squad. And realistically, like I said, no doubt Arnie would have wanted them playing in the A-League. Like I said, I can't see a lot of them playing in MPL1, but like I said, there's always surprises, there's always late runners for every competition at every age. So yeah, I mean, like I said, it's it is what it is, and we just got to crack on with it.
Well, Monty, before we let you go, one non-Mariners related question. I guess your home team club, Leeds, have overnight been promoted to the English Premier League. You're a Blades legend. Sheffield are flying. Have you been able to spend much time watching those two teams, battle it out over there this season?
Oh, look, Leeds, like I said, delighted for Leeds. I'm from Leeds. That's where I started my career. Spent 5-6 really good years there in the youth setup. Massive club, 16 years out of the top flight. But honestly, some of the Yorkshire derbies, when I played for Sheffield against Leeds, obviously I got a bit of stick from being from Leeds, and all my friends in the Leeds crowd. I remember scoring at the Cop End at Ellen Road and just got battered with abuse. But look, I'm a Leeds boy. It's just amazing for Yorkshire as a county. You think of some of the massive clubs in Yorkshire, your Sheff Wednesdays, your Leeds, your Sheffield Uniteds. There's so many top clubs in Yorkshire, but to have two of them back in the Premier League now is going to be amazing. And I watched both of the teams. Bielsa's a fantastic coach. The way that they've played this season, obviously Sheffield going up last season and cementing himself, as a top Premier League team now. So it's been, like I said, for Yorkshire, for the county. I've got a lot of happy friends and family back at home now, and delighted, yeah, and can't wait for the Leeds Sheffield derbies next season because they'll just be electric. They really will. Well,
Monty, it's obviously game day for you, so we really appreciate you taking the time out of such a busy day to join us and talk through, I guess, what is such a passionate topic for yourself. So all the best to you and the boys down at Blacktown Spartans, and thank you for joining us.
Cheers, guys. Thank you, and good luck tonight with the game. I'll obviously won't be there because you're playing at the same time.
Thanks, Monty. We'll see you soon. So, yeah, I guess you can hear, Monty's someone that does get quite hot under the collar. We've seen both on and off the pitch, but I guess to hear from him, he was very diplomatic in the way that there are some positives with the decision, but obviously for his boys, it is a tough decision to swallow. So it was great for Monty to join us. If anyone wants any further information, I believe the club is or has issued a statement regarding that, so feel free to check that out. But before we're joined by our next guest, we're going to throw to a quick commercial break.
We'll get you there. get you there.
Is use this proactively.
The tip is being open and honest.
Avoid being fearful of the unknown.
Don't commit crimes in the first place. If you don't want to have to see me, think twice about what you're going to do.
Don't leave anything that you don't think is important out, because quite often it is important.
Often if we can have a conversation with you at the start, we can help you get to the finish so much quicker.
Mining and construction, delivering the right people to the right places.
So welcome back to Mariners TV. We're about to be joined by our next guest, Tony Pinata from Sydney FC. From Perth Glory. Was formerly of Sydney FC.
Yep.
But before we get into the chat with Tony, I guess, do you want to just give the fans a little bit of a reminder about anything that they need to remember when they're coming to the stadium today?
Yeah, definitely. So as we've mentioned, we've got all the information on our website. We've got a game day guide which will run you through every single thing you need to know. But if you're coming today, the key things are to remember. Bring along your ticket, whether it's the one you've printed out at home or you've got on your mobile device. You cannot purchase a ticket when you get here. There'll be no box office open. If you do get here and you don't have a ticket, you'll need to jump on your phone and purchase it, scan the barcode, get in. We've got a merchandise stand. Everything is contactless payment. That goes for all of the concessions. If you're going to grab a beer or some food while you're here, no cash, card only. And then when you're seated, make sure there's probably about 2 or 3 seats between you and the next group. Maintain social distancing, and if someone sits a bit too close to you, just do the right thing, stand up and just shuffle over a bit, just to sort of play your part. So if everyone does the right thing, we can keep having games of football here.
And it's so important that you follow those rules, I guess. You don't want to be that person that brings another halt to the A-League. So
no one wants
make
to be
sure
that
you
guy.
abide by those rules. But like we mentioned at the top of the show, crazily enough, we are at Central Coast Stadium, but technically this is a Perth Glory home game. So as we were mentioning at the start of the show, we're thrilled to be joined by the CEO, Tony Pinata. Whilst we're bringing Tony in, I guess we just wanted to start by saying a huge thank you to you, your club, your players and your staff. I guess sacrifices from Perth Glory and Wellington Phoenix particularly have been so huge in terms of getting the A-League back up and running. So I guess first and foremost, we just wanted to say a huge thank you to you, Tony, and your staff and your players. But I guess to kick us off, for the fans that aren't aware of the lengths that your club have had to go through and the situation that you all face now of the bubble, can you provide a bit of information as to what the Perth Glory staff and players are facing at the moment in order to get this season back off and running?
Yeah, it's been a difficult, I suppose, 3 months. With all clubs standing down, staff and players, and trying to get, I suppose, everyone back in.
Oh, you still there?
Yeah,
Cool.
Sorry guys, I'm hearing myself about 20 seconds.
It's that Perth delay.
Is that better now?
Yeah, we can hear you now. That's fine.
Hey, don't knock Perth, okay? Euro cases here.
No, so Tony, you were just starting by telling us, I guess, what the situation is, what's been happening the last couple of months, and what the players need to go through now in order to finish the season.
I'm hearing myself repeating myself about 20 seconds, so it's not working well.
Okay.
That's all right.
Yeah.
We maybe we will just quickly throw to a couple more commercials, and then we will head back and see if we can fix up those issues.
Cabs will get you there. Cabs will get you there. Cabs will get you there.
Boys of Live TV, we've got trains flying around in the background. We lost Tony there, but Tony, I think we've got you back again. We're joined by Perth CEO Tony Pignata, who was talking us through, I guess, the lengths that the Perth Glory club are needing to go through to get this season back underway. So, Tony, I guess, could you pick back up on what the last few months have looked like and what your players and your staff now need to go through in order to finish this season off?
Yeah, look, I think it's been every club across the A-League. It's been quite difficult. We didn't know if we'd get the season back up and running. We stopped in March. Basically, Australia was in lockdown. Players were stood down, staff was stood down, and then things improved, and we saw a window to finish the season off. But I think it's credit to everyone involved. To Greg O'Rourke, to Tracy, all the FFA staff and everyone around the A-League. The amount of work has just been phenomenal, and to make sure that, we can play safely. And it's great that we've got this opportunity to play today.
And I guess the situation over in Western Australia has been quite different to New South Wales, where we've had some extended lockdowns, and even so into Victoria, who are continuing their lockdowns. What has been, the process to getting the players over here? So, making sure that they're back training over there. When did they fly in? When did they leave their families? Can you give us a bit of a run through on, maybe the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, we always knew we'd have to hub it in New South Wales. The aim was to fly in yesterday, but given the situation, what was happening in New South Wales, we actually went on Thursday, and we arrived Thursday. Everyone's sort of happy to be here. They're going to be away from their families for about 7 weeks, so it's going to be a long, long time. But they're all prepared to make that sacrifice. They know what's needed, and hopefully, things, go well and we can finish the season off.
Well, Tony, I guess as an experienced sports administrator, I'm sure you've really never come up against anything like this. Could you maybe just talk us through some of the challenges that yourself and your staff have faced over the past couple of months? I guess there'd be some people at that club, yourself included, that are putting in some big shifts in order to get this thing back up and running. Could you provide a bit of an insight to sort of how you've managed that over the past couple of months as well?
Yeah, there's been a lot of regulations, from Ian Austin, our physio, to Jacob Burns, our football director. They continuously worked through as well, ensuring that the players were up to date with their programs, etc. And then just the amount of paperwork that needed to be done, the testing, the COVID testing we had to do, the protocols, the manuals we had to write, we had to read, the temperature checks, everything like that. But that's in the past, and I was so happy to see them fly off on Thursday.
And we are one game into the A-League relaunch. We've also already seen some controversial refereeing decisions. What are your thoughts on continuing the season with no VAR, with VAR? where do you think we stand here?
I actually did a Twitter poll on my Twitter account about VAR, good move or not good move, and I think 73% prefer not to have VAR. I'm not sure how many Wellington Phoenix fans would not want VAR now, but look, from my point of view, and it's just only my opinion, I get why they're not having VAR, and it's understandable, but I think if we've started the season with VAR, I think I'd like to finish with VAR. There's talk about potentially bringing VAR back for the finals. But look, it does cause a lot of angst amongst fans because, the joy of, celebrating a winner is tempered now because you have to wait and see what the VAR will do. But, you need to have the decisions right. But I think VAR is here to stay, and that's the way FIFA are going. So I would have liked to see VAR continue for the remaining 27 games and into the finals.
And just one last question before we let you go. I guess as someone who's been involved in Australian football for so long, it feels like we're at a bit of a breaking point at the moment. We've obviously, James Johnson has come in. He's done a fantastic job. We have the 11 principals now. We have the A-League back underway. So I guess for you, what are the big opportunities we have as a code to really, kick things back into gear and make sure that Australian football is as strong as it's ever been?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people like to knock the A-League down. There's a lot of, I suppose, negativity around it, from, the metrics, crowds, TVs, etc. But it is our game. It's an Australian game. I've always maintained that we're not Serie A or EPL or La Liga, but we are live football. The quality is improving. The foreigners that are coming to the league are playing, fantastic football as well. So I think there's a lot to celebrate, a lot to look forward to it. I'm a glass half full type person, and I think the league will be here for a long, long time to come. Needs a bit of tweaking, but I think if we all put together and work through this, then we can ensure the league continues to grow and maintain what was started probably 15 years ago.
Well, Tony, you mentioned the foreign players that are coming here and plying their trade. We're about to be joined by one of yours in Neil Kilkenny, but we just, again, would really like to thank...
He's actually an Australian.
What's
you
that?
Know that?
Yes, Australian,
He's an
sorry.
Aussie.
Yes, sorry. my apologies.
And I heard before you thought I was still at Sydney FC. But,
I know, I'm sorry. We're having a shocker, mate.
Poor Danny Townsend. Actually, it was funny, though, because I just a story, I had a tweet from... Western Sydney Wanderers fan.
We're going to ask you about this.
I wanted to ask you about it, but I thought, I don't want to enrage soccer Twitter.
I left Sydney FC three years ago. His response: once a Smurf, always a Smurf. But no, it's yeah.
No, you're doing a fantastic job over in Perth, and hopefully it's going to be a fantastic game.
And you got to love Twitter. But thank you for joining us, Tony, and thanks for all the work you've done to get the season back underway and all the best.
And a special thanks to Sean and his team. Even though we're the home team, he's put together the whole game today, and we really appreciate his support and helping us because it's pretty hard to organise something over here. And I think they even gave him the home change rooms, so that was a bit of a token.
No, it's a perfect example of sort of how every club has to work together, especially during these times, to make sure that we can get football back and running.
Well, Tony, thanks for joining us and all the best for the rest of the season.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
And we're also now lucky enough to be joined by Perth Glory player Neil Kilkenny, who I think is pitch side, ready to speak with us. Neil, if you are there at the moment... Yes, we're joined by Neil now. I guess firstly, we just spoke to your CEO, Tony Pignata, who spoke a little bit about some of the measures that have been put in place in order to get the season back underway. Can you, I guess, talk the fans through what the playing group is going through at the moment in terms of getting here, the bubble scenario? What are you having to go through to get kickoff back underway?
Obviously, everyone's taking sacrifices, and we're obviously in a hotel now for the hopefully over 46 days. So obviously, if we get to the final, so we're hoping to do that. And that's we're taking a lot of sacrifices, but we want to play football as players, and we're looking forward to the season restarting.
And it's been 126 days since your last competitive fixture. How have you and your teammates been keeping fit and also staying connected during COVID?
Well, we've obviously had to keep fit at home when we're in isolation. In Perth, we've been lucky enough it's not as bad as obviously over here east, but you know, we've been trying to keep fit and keep positive, and we all knew that it was going to come back, so we just needed to wait and, like I said, keep fit, and now we're here and we're looking forward to the game.
Just two more questions before we let you go. I guess you know it is a very unique situation coming in to finish off the season. I guess what's the message been from the coaching staff in order you know to finish this season in the strongest way possible?
Obviously, at the start, it was obviously to keep fit with the time off at home individually, which most of our lads have done and been very professional. And now, obviously, we're here, and he's basically just said the same thing as he has been all season: play our football, and hopefully, you know, we'll come out on top more times than not.
And I guess just lastly, before we let you go, obviously some huge news from one of your former clubs, Leeds United, promoted back to the Premier League overnight. I guess that must be something that you're thrilled to see.
Yeah, I was there for the last promotion, so it brings back a lot of fantastic memories, and congratulations to Leeds United, the staff, the club, the owner, and all the fans. They massively deserve it, and it's fantastic for the club because it definitely deserves to be back in the Premier League. And when I get back to the UK, hopefully I can get to Ellen Road and watch some games, because, like I said, it's some atmosphere at Ellen Road when the stadium's rocking, and I've been fortunate enough to play in front of them, and it was a fantastic honour to play for the club. So congratulations to Leeds United, and I look forward to watching them in the Premier League next year.
Well, we had Nick Montgomery on earlier as well, and another person who's obviously spent quite a bit of time in Leeds, and he echoes those sentiments. So thank you so much for joining us on Game Day, and all the best for the rest of the season.
Thanks, guys. You guys take care.
Thank you too.
Thank you.
Yeah, great to hear, I guess, for a Perth Glory home game, to hear from two people from Perth. But yeah, I guess it is, like you said, it's good to see, I guess, so many of the clubs coming together in order to get the season back underway.
Yeah, definitely. And you know what? We've got short turnarounds between games, so everyone's going to sort of have to hit the ground running and put in 110% to make sure that we can finish off this season and do it with some exciting games and make sure that we're doing it safely.
Absolutely. Well, I guess to preview the game that we've got coming up, I think we're not too far from being joined by Mariners assistant coach, who's going to be joining us pitchside if he isn't there already.
On his way.
But yeah, I guess if we're going to be, we should have the lineup quite soon. But I think we're about to see the lineups on screen.
We can check out Perth's while we're here. So
yeah, just while we're being joined by assistant coach Naz, I guess. Do you just want to quickly touch on, I guess, the things you were mentioning before about what the fans need to, I guess, consider when they're coming back to Central Coast Stadium?
Yeah, definitely. I know we've spoken about it before, but I think it's one of those things you just can't say enough. When you're coming in, you will see stickers on the ground telling you to keep your 1.5 metre distance. Contactless payment, don't bring cash in because you cannot use it in the stadium. You have to use either card, or if you've got smartphone pay, that fancy technology. Our merchandise stand is the same thing, contactless payments only. And then if you are here to watch the game, obviously stay in your seat as much as you can. If you need to get up and go to the bathroom, grab something to eat, do so, but then come straight back to your seat. We don't want people sort of lingering around and that sort of thing, because we just, we're here to come in and watch football, and we just need to make sure that we're doing it safely.
Okay, I think we're about to be joined by Naz, if we've got him on the line from pitchside just now. Naz, mate, welcome back to Central Coast Stadium. And thank you for joining us. First and foremost, we've just seen the lineups pop up on the screen. I guess, can you talk the fans through the team today, any changes and anything that you might like to add about today's lineup?
No, look, obviously the boys have been working really hard the last few weeks, and we've got to keep in mind the short, a lot of games obviously in a short period of time and so forth. So we're going to have a real go. We're going to obviously look at the changes and so forth are going to be a little bit different to what we've done before, obviously keeping in mind that and the fact that we haven't played many games. So obviously Jacob Melling's coming to the squad today in starting, so his first game that he started this year, so he's been doing really, really well at training. Looking forward to seeing him play. and then obviously the other boys have been playing as well. So, well, they were playing previously anyway. So yeah.
And we heard from Nizzy before, but what has the message from the coaching staff been to the players for these final games?
Oh, look, like every other game, we want to obviously try to win as many games as we can. Obviously, the mentality that we approach every game that doesn't change. Sometimes, obviously, you look at the ladder, and obviously, I can understand the fans and everyone questioning things. But from our perspective, we're going out there to win as many games as possible, and obviously, some players getting the opportunity to showcase what they can do as well long term.
Naz, I guess for you, very, very unique challenge as a coach, I guess, going into lockdown, coming out of lockdown. What has it meant for you and the coaching staff from a planning point of view, maybe from a tactical point of view? Do you really need to take a second look at things and change the way you do things? Or has it been more about just getting back underway, business as usual, and getting the team prepared to be ready for this game?
Yeah, obviously it's unforeseen circumstances that we had over the last few months with COVID, and it's been difficult for the players, the coaching staff, the fans, everyone across the board. It's been from our perspective, we're continuously, reflecting and evaluating to see how we can do things better. But from a tactical perspective, obviously we had a lot of time to analyse what we've been doing and how we can improve. But that's a thing that we do on a week-to-week basis, and obviously everyone in the coaching staff has had the opportunity to see how we can do things better, and then tactically from our perspective, and just making sure that we continue to improve and get better every game, and that's been a big focus for us for the last 4 weeks, obviously, of training, to make sure that we go out there, regardless of where we are on the table and regardless of what people might be saying about the obviously what it means, but from our perspective, making sure that we leave the fans with something to be proud of. So yeah.
It's been 120 odd games since anyone's last played a competitive fixture. I guess the last month now the boys have been back to training. Are you getting a sense on the training pitch that they've really got a bit between their teeth and they're going to come out firing and be ready for this game?
Yeah, no, look, the attitude's been fantastic. Obviously, like I said, it's been very, very difficult. Obviously, there's a lot of things that happen off the field that are beyond our control from a coaching staff or the club's perspective. But no, look, the boys have been working really, really hard, and the attitude from day one has been tops. And we're something where we're actually looking forward to today, because you can do as much training as you want, but this is where it counts, when you get the opportunity to showcase what you've been doing, and this is where the players' time to shine becomes evident. So yeah.
And just lastly, before we let you go, I guess, although it is a Perth home game, it's fantastic to be able to kick the season back off here at home at Central Coast Stadium in front of our home fans. I guess that must add an extra element for you and the team as well. Yeah,
100%. We're blessed to be working in this part of the country, and obviously to play, I think, one of the best stadiums in the country. We get to obviously travel a bit, and been fortunate enough to travel around the world. But the scene here, obviously on match day, and the atmosphere, and that's what we want. We want to make sure that we continue to give something and give hope to the fans, to make sure that we do the right thing from our perspective, for them to take home a great experience, and we're better to do it than a Central Coast Stadium here.
Well, Naz, we really appreciate you joining us here today on game day. We wish you all the best for today and the rest of the season, and yeah, go get them.
No, thank you very much. Appreciate the support.
Good luck.
Thanks, Naz.
Thank you.
And I think we'll just bring up our lineup on the screen, just so everyone can see how the Mariners will be starting this match. So, and we can see Mark Birigitti's stepped into the captain's role this week.
Yeah, huge for him. I think he's been. Fans would agree that he's been one of the best performers this season. So for him to get that captain's armband is a huge honour for him, and I think he's been a huge part of this squad. And yeah, I'm sure he'll have another big game again today.
Yeah, and also fantastic to see Jacob Melling back in the starting list. So I know he's been working hard, and yeah, we'll see what he can put out.
Exactly right. Yeah, well, I guess that brings us to the end of Mariners TV. The gates are about to open. People are starting to roll in. I can smell the pies. I can smell the beers.
I can smell the beer.
Yep. So, like Carly mentioned, for anyone coming to Central Coast Stadium, we'll just quickly touch on those things you need to bear in mind just one last time, but also to remember that there is a merch stand here at Central Coast Stadium. There's things up to 70% off. I think home jerseys for this year are $30, which is an amazing discount for any jersey, really. So, Carly, if you wouldn't mind talking to fans through just one last time, the things that they need to bear in mind when coming to the stadium today.
Yep, so ticketing, make sure you've got your ticket on your phone or you've done your printout ticket. You cannot purchase tickets at the box office, it is closed. If you get here and you haven't got one, you'll need to jump on your phone and purchase one. All concession stands, merchandise stands are cash free, so you will need to have your card with you or smartphone payments. And also just maintaining social distancing. If you're sitting in your allocated row, there's someone sitting in the seat directly next to you, just stand up, move over a couple, leave sort of 2 to 3 seats between your group and the next group, just, making sure that you're doing your part for the community.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, make sure, again, like we said, to follow those rules because you don't want to be the person who brings the A-League season to an end again. It's very important. But thank you for joining us for the match day edition of Mariners TV. There's been some bumps along the way.
There's been trains, there's been a lot.
Trains and technical issues and all sorts of things. But we really appreciate you joining us. We cannot wait for kickoff and we'll see you again soon. Thank you.
See ya.